I thought I'd start with a Yelp review of a place called the National Baseball Hall of Fame and
Hell yeah.
Museum.
Oh, sure.
Brian, I know on this show you guys love doing Rock and Roll Hall of Fame stuff, and it has a lot of similarities to the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Oh,
so
many.
The Baseball Hall of Fame is quantifiable, I would say. More than
a little bit more because there's statistics, I guess, and like there's competitions, like more so that have more meaning. You can say this guy's like a World Series, won 4 World Series. He's won you can say those things, and he led the league in home run. Yeah, it has some more to it, but it's still up for debate, of course, because it's
become much more like that. Yeah, there was a long period of time where it was about as arbitrary as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Big internal battle to get all of the crusty old reporters to finally die off, so that we can actually vote based on, or that they can actually vote based on merit rather than like, well, he played for the Yankees and it was a shortstop for 22 seasons. So,
and even though it does have more of a statistical element to it than like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame does, it should be taken as seriously as the Rock and Roll Hall.
Yeah, maybe less, honestly.
I will say there's two guys that come up when you Google or when you look for the Hall of Fame. One, Barry Bonds, whom I believe should be in the Rock and Roll or the Rock. He should be. Honestly, he should be in both Halls of Fame.
Yeah.
And then the Cycling Hall of Fame should be in that too. Yeah.
And also another gentleman that I've always felt should be in the Hall of Fame, Pete Rose.
Pedophile.
Yes. Yeah.
Pete Rose is a pedophile.
We're with you on
Confirmed pedophile. Yes.
Pedophile.
I did not even know that. I thought he was just a cheater. I thought he was just a cheater. So I guess
gambler, not a cheater.
Gamble, not cheat.
Oh yeah, but that's right. I just think
probably.
it kind of goes hand in hand, because I think that's kind of the insinuation when you're getting mad at somebody for gambling on their own games, is that they did something untowards. Otherwise, who cares?
I disagree. Yeah. Well, Tim R gave the Baseball Hall of Fame 5 months ago, so this is recent. This is some old one. He gave them 1 star. And he said $28 admission for this travesty of a museum is outrageous. $8 admission would be more appropriate.
That's cool that he has a suggestion for the.
He's constructive.
He's worked the numbers a little bit and figured out that the value is about $8.
Yeah, and there's no way that this guy was just in Cooperstown and like that. $16 was the difference. Like he went out of his way to go to Cooperstown.
I think
there's not a lot else there.
Yeah, where's Cooperstown? I'm a Canadian.
New York, upstate New York, by nothing.
So
a lot of people are also mad at the city, Chris.
Right. You're not passing through though. You're not like passing through somewhere else. People are going
you have to go out of your way.
Place.
Yeah, if you're traveling from Albany to like Buffalo or Syracuse, like Cooperstown is in between those, but it's south, so you have to get off the highway and like
those aren't
into these tiny little towns.
Yeah, those aren't two like places that I would be like thinking. As a Canadian guy from the west coast of Canada, I wouldn't be thinking I would be traveling between Buffalo and Syracuse on any.
Yeah, no.
You're a little bit loud. I just want to say now, if you can, is there a way that you can turn yourself down slightly,
Steven?
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
you're just a little bit loud, and I just
So anyway, let's get in. Color Me Fleeced and Ripped Off. Which, first of all, me and Chris, I think this comes out after the Guys Plus episode where we talked about how if you buy hot sauce and it's not as hot as you thought it was, you didn't get scammed.
It wasn't a scam. That's not a scam. A scam is if you ordered hot sauce and they gave you water or something, and it wasn't. That's a scam.
Barbecue sauce. Yeah.
You can call it a ripoff. That's fine. It could, but you're not. First of all, there is no place in the United States that you can get into for $28 for less than $28.
Yeah, that's just how things are nowadays.
It's like an IMAX ticket. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like inflation has hit the world hard, and a lot of stuff has gotten out of control price wise. But yeah, I mean, $8. You can't. I can't imagine they could stay in business charging $8 admission.
Okay, so he goes. All the exhibits on the second and third floor are poorly curated, poorly lit, and just uncoordinated mess of baseball history. It's as if they took everything that's happened in baseball, threw it in a blender, and then poured the contents into the displays. The film shown in their theater is a cringe fest. And I walked out of the theater 10 minutes. One of the greatest players and all-time hits leader, Pete Rose, is not mentioned
There we
anywhere.
go.
Yeah.
Oh, there
I
it
was waiting
is.
for
There
that.
it is. There
I was
it
with him up
is.
until that point. He's like, he's got making points here. Oh yeah,
Have,
okay.
have you guys been to the Baseball Hall of Fame?
I
Yeah.
have, yeah.
I haven't. I'm the only one. That hasn't.
Is that accurate? Would you say that Lauren, you were sort of saying that he's got some points?
Yeah, the video is pretty cringe. It's very like memorializing the game in a way that's like little dated. And yeah,
okay.
it is weirdly dark. He's got the lighting pegged pretty well. It's darker than it should
Everybody
be.
says that, and I thought they were just being complainers.
No, it is
No.
actually quite dark. Well, if you see everyone mentioning it, Brian, and the things, it's probably true, you know.
Mhm.
I just was thinking, like, you're not a museum guy. Like, you don't know anything about, like, but if Lauren says it, I believe it. I'm sorry
what?
to all the other people.
The average Baseball Hall of Fame attendee goes to more museums than like anybody you know. They're going to train museums. They're going to all the museums.
They're also age-wise very prone to cataracts.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an old person sport, definitely.
Average fan is, I think,
Mhm.
78. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So I got some bad news for the Baseball Hall of Fame. Steve Z gave it 1 star.
Oh, fuck. They lost his fucking traffic.
Yeah. What a shithole of a town. And this place,
Oh,
Again,
come on.
points.
this place they call a quote Hall of Fame. The only players I saw there were all second-rate players. It was weird. I looked everywhere, but didn't see any real stat leaders to be found.
Well, that's not true. I mean, all the
yeah.
stat leaders, all the you're gonna find all of them, like, with the exception of the people we've mentioned. You're gonna find all of the people who have led, who have the all-time hits leader. Other than
Unfortunately, you don't, Chris, because he says no hit, home run, or Cy Young leaders anywhere. So
Cy Young, hang on.
Is this?
No. This who has the most Cy Youngs of all time?
Probably one of the guys who's not in for the PED reasons. Same with
Is
Bonds.
it Clemens?
Clemens,
It
probably.
is Clemens. Okay, so this guy has
That's a
those.
guess.
So
yeah.
it's Clemens, and then hits and home runs is Barry Bonds, and so
Clemens, Bonds, and Rose. Yeah.
So it's Clemens, Bonds, and Rose. Okay, that does kind of make
pure
sense.
grievance mongering. Yeah.
That's why he's mad there.
Yes.
What was weird in this place was full of racist memories, which is odd.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
Like Ty
yeah.
Cobb's in there and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, Ty Cobb was an outrageously racist guy, and like I guess the history of baseball in America is quite racist as well. They had an entirely segregated league, so yeah, that's kind of accurate too.
It's not really great that there's a second Hall of Fame for the black leagues in Kansas City.
Not great.
Yeah.
They're only in the last couple of years trying to figure out how to reconcile all that. Not ideal.
Well, he says, I found this place to be more like a side of the road museum with weird odds and ends, no real substance. I can't wait until a true baseball Hall of Fame opens someday in a more relevant city.
I don't think you should hold your breath. I don't think they're gonna get a new state of the art one. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're talking about that, but it doesn't feel like it's in the cards.
There'll be some horrific VR experience everyone's gonna hate even more, I'm sure.
I think it fucking rocks that it's in the middle of goddamn nowhere.
It's funny.
I think that rules so hard. Like it would be so much worse if we moved the Baseball Hall of Fame to New York or something.
And it would be New York. It would 100% be like
New York's the only option.
Yeah.
It would go beside Yankee Stadium or something.
Yeah.
That's how they do it. Yeah.
Well, one more review here from Lars gave it 2 stars, and he says, does not do justice to the game. The stats and figures and people are there, which the last guy said they weren't. He must not have known where to look. And he goes, and but not the flair and genius of the game. The place is so leaden. It needs to be more interactive, include the great stories of baseball history, not just milestones and hitting records. A disappointment. So
okay,
On the
Ken
money.
Burns.
Totally
yeah.
on the money. Sorry. He's 100% correct.
Yeah, you want.
you the Baseball Hall of Fame anywhere?
I don't know what would make a good Hall of Fame. I guess it's like a museum, yeah. So you want to have like maybe exclusive, like interactive video type stuff that you can watch and like maybe even participate in some way. Perhaps I'm just trying to think of what would actually be make something like that good.
I would say, as a person who seems to be becoming an expert on halls of fame, they just shouldn't. I mean,
They're useless.
there's no world in which people would ever agree on anything to be in any Hall of Fame.
They're the main function of a Hall of Fame is for guys to argue about who's in and who's not. I think that's like the main functionality in society.
And that's why
that's why MLB pays for it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why pro wrestling has the best Hall of Fame, because there's no building. It's just some guy's newsletter. And then people vote on it.